Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. It is Saturday, the weekend, and I am feeling awesome. My daughter's excitement for her birthday tomorrow has caught up with me. She's turning 13 tomorrow, and I remember what it was like when I turned 13. I thought I was all grown up and a big man. Little did I know I didn't turn into a man until probably my late 20s. And sometimes I still think I'm just a big kid, so who knows. But yeah, her excitement is really infectious, and I'm just having a great weekend, living off her excitement. It's great. Today we're going to be reacting to 10 reasons the US is better than Europe. And I can sort of have a say on this because guess what? I live in Europe. I have done for the last, since I was 17, just turning 18. I've been living over here. Well, I lived in the UK and now I'm living in Slovakia. And yeah, I think I can chime in a little bit when it comes to Europe side of things. I obviously can't chime into the US side of things because I don't live there. And yeah, I don't like to put my all in where it doesn't belong. But anyway, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're feeling extra frisky, you may as well hit the like button as well. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee page down in the description if anyone wants to help support the channel. But please don't feel like there's any obligation to do so. It would just be freaking awesome if you did. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the 10 reasons the USA is better than Europe.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to World According to Briggs and a video about why the United States is so much better than Europe. This video came about after getting emails from Europeans for close to 3 years now telling me why the US sucks and Europe is so much better. I get these all the time. They often bring up some good, valid points, but they also like to hint at things like we're all just rude, arrogant, and dumb. That can be
I haven't really... Sorry to pause so soon into the video. I've met my fair share of American people when I was living in the UK especially, and from the correspondence I've had with you guys who email me, I've had some great emails and I will reply to them all today, and the comments. I've got my new laptop now. I'm going to sit down and reply to all the comments, but I've had nothing but great interactions with you guys. There's been one or two, a few nasty comments, but excuse me, that has nothing to do with being American or rude comments. I think that's just people in general. So I haven't come across any rude American people as much as I've come across rude Slovak people. Everyone here has been really kind, and yeah, you guys are awesome. And I tell you what, the support you've shown for this channel so far has been top notch, so thank you.
true about Americans, but that could be true about anyone.
Yeah.
It's not like Americans have cornered the market on being rude. These people always act like they have it so much better in Europe, and the only thing the US has ever done was start wars. Honestly, that's like the general theme. That's what they always seem to go to, is we start wars. But US does have some bad things, and the US has some great things, just like Europe. Every country, every town, every village, and every neighborhood has its good and its bad. If you don't understand that, you're kind of dumb. So let's take a look in no particular order at some things that make the US a far better option than Europe. Number 10, World Wars. We don't have them. We never have.
That's right.
We hopefully never will.
That's right. The only attack on American soil or war on American soil due to a world war, I believe, was only Pearl Harbor. And that wasn't even it didn't even last a full day, did it, the attack? It was a couple hours. You guys have entered some world wars, both World War I and II. I believe World War I anyway. You came over to Europe to help fight. So yeah, no world wars.
We just don't have world wars here in the United States. We've had a civil war and we've had some other things. And before you do, stop typing. Yes, Pearl Harbor was part of World War II and it was on American soil,
yes,
but that was just an attack that took a couple hours. The Japanese also did take hold of some rock outcropping we had in the Bering Sea near Alaska. They stayed there for a couple months. We didn't even try and chase them out. But when it comes to world wars, no real combat on American soil other than those. We've joined other wars. Matter of fact, we joined 2 world wars in Europe to help Europe. I don't know if you Europeans remember, but there was this German guy with a funny little mustache.
It's amazing that some stuff actually sinks into this thick skull of mine. I do like my history, and especially like war history and that. One of the books I've listened to over and over and over again on Audible is called Homefront. Is it Homefront or Homeland? Homefront. It's a British series. It's 3 books long and they're each like 35, 36 hours long. It's documenting the World War I. Pretty awesome to listen. If you've got Audible, I recommend it.
And he had plans for all of Europe and pretty much the entire world. If it wasn't for the United States, there's a good chance his dream would have come true. Over 100,000 U.S. servicemen lost their lives in combat during World War II. In World War I, it was about 116,000. So we may have started some wars in our history, but we sure have helped out Europe with a couple of theirs. And from the looks of it, might be a third one on the way.
No, don't say that.
Number
Don't,
9.
please. I know with all this crap going on, I try my best to, not think about it. And every time I try not to think about it, I just hear about how, yeah, it's coming, it's so close. I'm like, flipping heck, please don't. I've got 2 small kids. I'm worried more about them than me. And I think all parents are
that
like
World War II thing, World War I, was kind of depressing. So let's look at amusement parks. We excel at amusement parks.
Yeah, you
Europe
do.
has some wonderful things to do, don't get me wrong. But we set the bar for amusement parks. The Six Flags amusement parks, our water parks, Disneyland, Disney World, Cedar Point, Hershey Park, Busch Gardens, Universal.
Sorry to pause again. We actually did a reaction the other day on your on your amusement parks, and yeah, I think you've got us trumped there.
King's Dominion, King's Island, and one of my personal favorites growing up was Knott's Berry Farm. It's not the biggest and it's not one of the best, but it's just got a place in my heart. So it gets a mention.
Ugh.
Euro Disney's nice, Euro Park, Port Adventura, Futurescope. Those are all nice, but it's nothing compared to what we got going on here in the United States. Okay, Legoland started in Europe, and that's pretty cool. We got some here in the United States, but we still blow everyone out of the water when it comes to amusement parks. Number 8, the U.S. economy. If you don't know, the U.S. economy is huge. It's by far the biggest economy in the world. The United States annual GDP is about $21 trillion. In a distant second, you have China with an annual...
21 trillion? How do you even, 21 trillion? Sometimes it's hard to get your head around how much actually a billion is. Trillion is just...
$21 trillion. In a distant second, you have China with an annual GDP of $14.72 trillion. After that, you got Japan with $5.06 trillion GDP. At number 4, you get your first European country, and it's Germany. They only have a $3.85 trillion annual GDP. Then the United Kingdom is $2.76, and then after that, you got India, and then finally France, $2.63, Italy, $1.89. And if you look outside of countries, the state of California would come in 5th place with $3.4 trillion. So my question to the Europeans are, if we suck that bad, why do we make so much money? And feel free to leave comments about how we're corrupt and we take advantage of other countries like your countries don't also. Number 7. Our technology. The United States has invented most of the really cool stuff. Sure.
This guy's taking this video a bit personal, isn't he?
7. Our technology. The United States has invented most of the really cool stuff. Sure, Europe has come up with the guillotine and the Iron Maiden, but the United States has come up with things like the personal computer in 1971, the Weed Whacker in 1971. 1972, we came up with the video game console. 72 also gave us the MRI. 73 gave us the cell phone.
Thank you for the MRI. I've had 5 or 6 of those things since I've been living here in Slovakia, and I can tell you something now, I freaking hate them. It is so enclosed, and that noise, that wop, 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 flipping, it's like being in a coffin. I hate it. I never thought I had claustrophobia before until my first MRI, subconsciously squeezed the thing and they pulled me out because I was shitting myself. I was so scared. I don't know why.
This is all before 1980. In 1978, we invented microwave popcorn. 1986, we gave you the 3D printer. 1996, we gave you 86. Google. 2005, we gave you YouTube. Yes! I should say 2004, we gave you Facebook also, but that's kind of working against us these days, it seems like. Along with in 2006, Twitter showed up. We also gave you the COVID-19 vaccine. I know some of you don't think that was a good thing, but a lot of people do. If you want to go way back, 1938, we invented the chocolate chip cookie. Take that, Europe, you and your croissant. Number 6, gas prices. Your gas prices suck, Europe. Face it. I know you go by liters, and we're going to break it down for gallons, which we use here in the United States.
Someone put in one of my comments how cheap the gas is over there in comparison to here, and I couldn't freaking believe it. We pay so much for petrol when our car is a guzzler as well. It's a thirsty bitch, our car, and the price of petrol is just insane.
States and dollars. Okay, I
Right,
found a
let's
nice
go
little
into
chart
it.
that breaks it down as of May 1st, 2022. The highest gas
over a
prices
year ago.
in the world right now is Hong Kong, and it is $10.87 on average per gallon of gas. Norway, it's 9.13 for a gallon of gas. Monaco, it's $9 a gallon of gas. Iceland, $8.75. Denmark, $8.69. Finland, $8.64. Greece, $8.38. Netherlands, $8.33. Germany, $7.91. United Kingdom, $7.70. The list goes on.
Come on.
Sweden, $7.69. Liechtenstein, $7.66.
What is it in
Estonia,
the States?
$7.55.
Three something?
Switzerland, $7.47. This list goes on. You know where the United States is? 84th in the world with $4.58 on average countrywide. Now,
That's like half the price of that we have it here, and like the income here is so much lower. In Slovakia, it is comparison even to the UK. The minimum wage here is absolute pants. It is horrible. So I don't understand how people afford it. Like, I'd be screwed.
this is the point where a bunch of people here in the United States are going to leave some political comment or how they
Yep.
just paid $5.10 in Los Angeles or something. This is the national average. Good thing you people in Europe like to ride bikes everywhere. Number 5, fast food. Now, this is a strange one, I know, because fast food isn't really something you should be proud of, but I will tell you right now, every single European I know, that's one of the first things they say is our fast food is amazing. The variety and the flavor is awesome. You have great food in Europe. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that. You have a lot of really classic cuisine. You know, I mean, the Italian stuff you got going on in Italy, France, amazing. I could really do without German food, but still, you know. But Americans that go over there, they bring that up all the time. And Europeans that come over here talk about how amazing our fast food is. Again, it's unhealthy. It's probably why we're one of the largest countries in the world as far as chubby people go. But still, it tastes great. We have a wide variety. It's something that's kind of awesome. Number 4, modern music. Jazz, blues, rock and roll, rap, hip hop. As far as modern music goes, it all started here, and anything that was done in Europe was basically a new version of something that came from the United States. Prove me wrong. Now, if you go way back in music,
I won't even argue. Like he's just about to say, I think, way back, yeah, maybe, but everything in my generation and older, up until, well, even quite a lot older, is American, really. Apart from the Beatles, please don't shoot me. I'm not a fan of the Beatles, never have been. But yeah, American music is
of something that came from the United States. Prove me wrong. Now, if you go way back in music, Mozart, Wagner,
there you go.
Chopin, Bach, those are all great. But what have they done for us lately? I mean, they haven't done much for us lately because they all died like in the early 1900s or late 1800s or even earlier than that. They haven't done much for us lately. But modern music is where the United States shines. What is considered to be the first rock and roll song ever was done by Ike Turner and Jackie Preston. They wrote a song called Rocket 88, and that is considered to be the first rock and roll song ever. If it wasn't for that, and then Elvis taking that type of music, and Buddy Holly and people like that, we wouldn't have had the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or some version of that. Again, don't get me wrong, there has been some amazing modern music that's come out of Europe, but yeah, we started it. Number 3, the landscapes. Now, this one's going to be up for an opinion because Europe does have the Alps, amazing rivers like the Rhine, Lake Como, and other amazing lakes, the Azores, Tuscany, the Greek Isles. Those are all great, but it doesn't compare to the sheer volume that we have here in the United States with places like Yosemite, Arches, the Great Smoky Mountains, the Rocky Mountains, the Great Lakes.
This is something I wouldn't even argue over because I'm sure I would, like, I love both. As long as I'm outside, I don't care where it is. So, like, I don't feel the need to bicker and fight over this because I would enjoy both just as much wherever I am.
The Everglades, Death Valley, the giant sequoias, the redwoods, Yellowstone National Park, the Badlands, the Grand Canyon, the entire state of Oregon outside of Portland.
Awesome.
That list can go on about amazing landscapes to see here in the United States. Europe does have some good ones, but just in sheer volume and numbers and things to see, we're a bigger country and we have amazing landscapes. So we get the win, in my opinion, on that one. Now, to be fair, if we start looking at amazing buildings, ancient buildings and stuff, Europeans got us killed there. But, you know, I mean, the Colosseum, Eiffel Tower, Big Ben, so many other ones. We have nothing that compares to that, but our land and our natural beauty is, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, so much better. Taxes. Everyone in the United States always seems to think they have
This
the
is gonna
highest
be
taxes.
interesting.
Not even close. The United States is ranked 44th. If you take what the United Nations considers a country and you rank them by how much they tax their citizens, this is how they're ranked. The Ivory Coast, for some reason, they're just taxing the hell out of everyone. But it's followed by Finland, Japan, Austria, Denmark, Sweden, Belgium, Israel, Slovenia, Netherlands, Portugal, Ireland, Spain, Iceland, China gets in there, Germany, United Kingdom, France, South Africa, South Korea, Australia. Then we go back to Luxembourg, Greece,
Jesus.
Italy, Turkey, which is not really in Europe, but you get the idea. And then after that, it goes down a while and you start seeing things like Switzerland, Monaco, Norway. And finally, way down there at number 44, you get to the United States. Here in the United States, we complain about our
I
tax.
didn't know that. I thought you guys got taxed like to hell, basically, because from what I've seen, everyone moaning about taxes. So that's
Taxes
a good thing
an
to know.
awful lot, especially how they're slanted towards the rich. Really don't pay that much taxes, and if you're middle class or below, you're getting gouged. That's how we see it. But if you rank them on a global scale, the United States isn't doing that bad. But that top 20 is filled with a lot of European countries. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget we have another channel called and number 1, shopping. Yes, I'm sure a lot of you were a little shocked, but
This is something that I can talk on. I am so fed up. I know I live in Slovakia and it's my choice, but holy smokes. I miss being able to put an order in and get it the next day, or like it was in the UK, or even in 2 days or 3 days. Flippin' heck, stuff takes so long here, and most of it, like if you go to a local place, oh, we don't keep it in stock, you got to order it. It drives me mad. It drives me absolutely mad.
shopping is one of the biggest complaints Americans that move to Europe have about Europe, and Europeans that come to the United States, they love how easy it is to shop. Now,
Yeah,
it's
you
not
guys
just
got it.
ease or
Like,
whatever, it's
everything's
convenience and actually customer service. Customer service really doesn't seem to be much of a thing in Europe, according to most people that have moved over there or visited. What we would consider rude here in the United States really is kind of normal in
Yeah.
Europe when it comes to someone working at a retail place or a grocery store, something like that. They don't really see it as rude, it's just very transactional to them and matter of fact. All right, that's today's video.
I think he missed a few things as well. Property prices. That's something I've done a few videos where it gives like the top 50 state or top states to live in or something like that, where it gives the average salary and the price of the property, and it seems to me very affordable. Whereas here in Europe, especially in the UK where I lived, I was on a really good salary and my missus was working full time, and they wouldn't even look at us for a mortgage because the property prices were just outrageous, absolutely outrageous. Like I'm talking for a family home in a reasonably nice area with not a lot of garden space or anything like that. We were looking at least 500, 600,000 pounds, which is I would never pay it off. I would leave my children with massive debt. So we never ended up buying in the UK. This house that we live in now is ours, luckily, because we bought it years and years ago. But the property prices here are just going mental as well. And I say this is lovely. This house needs so much work to it that I'm getting around to really slowly. But yeah, the property prices here are going nuts. And it's quite scary to think that my children one day might not be able to afford their own home. So we're trying to now, we're preparing for the future now, putting money away for them. So hopefully we can get them a place. I want to buy another property quite local to where we are, so that when we pass on, there's at least a property each for them, and they don't have to worry about that as well. If they want to stay here, they can keep it. If they want to move, they can sell it. But yeah, I'm trying to future-proof for them. But yeah, you see, I sort of agree with a lot of the things in the video. Let me know what you think. If you've been to Europe, what did you hate about it, and vice versa? If you're a European and you've been to the US, what was great and what did you not like? What did you miss about home, really? I've yet to visit the States, but I'm sure I will find a few things that wind me up, but I'll find even more things that I love, I'm sure. I said to my missus, that's my biggest fear about going over there, because I've got this thing, when I go visit somewhere, if I really like it, I tell her I want to move there. I'll move there. And I'm the kind of person, if she says, yeah, let's go, I'll pack up and go next day. That's just, I love an adventure. But yeah, anyway, let's not get that thought in this skull of mine. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I know it's a long one. If you've made it this far, you're a freaking legend. If you haven't, you wouldn't have seen this anyway. Have a great day and have a great rest of your weekend. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.